are tuned in to your dose of positivity. I am Marlene Motivates, and as I always say, just know it, just breathe it, and be it, and live your best life.
Be encouraged, be inspired, be yourself, you will survive. Just know it, just breathe it, and be it, and live your best life.
And to gain further support, join my channel membership. Hey everybody, happy Friday. It's Marlene of Marlene Motivates, and welcome to your dose of positivity. I am your channel for all things positive, inspirational, life lessons, and mindset shifting. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button. I'd love to have you over here at Marlene Motivates and become a fellow motivator. So today, everybody, we're going to be talking about social media. And I feel like this is a very important topic to discuss because it affects just about everyone, not only the influencer, but the family, the friends, everybody. So, we're going to talk about a few things. So, if you have not already, please hit the like. I really appreciate it. And happy Friday to everybody. Yes, welcome and everybody like and share out. So, let me pull up my banner to put up on the screen to share what we're going to be talking about today. So today we're going to be talking about social media, the benefits, the influencers, and the impact on relatives. Okay, so or people who are related to us by blood. Okay, so let's get right into it. You know, social media is something that just about everybody has now. And there's many different forms of social media. We have this platform here. They also have TikTok, there's Reddit, there's Twitter, there's so many other social media websites that you can use. But I want to talk about, social media and how it can affect us as the influencer or those of you who are content creators, but also how it affects our family, how it affects our relationships, how it affects our job and our friends. Hey, Realist One, how are you doing? Welcome. Got a moderator in the house. I really appreciate you being here. Happy Friday. Thank you so much. So, going to talk about social media. Yeah, it's really a topic because I find that a lot of people who are on social media are people who really don't need to be on social media. Let's just say that and get it out of the way. Um, A lot of people don't need to be on social media. I think there should be some sort of test that you should have to pass to where you're mentally stable enough to be able to handle it, because social media can be like people living out their dreams or their childhood, or making themselves into some sort of character that is buffering right now. It was buffering a little bit. And it's not always a good thing, the impact that it can have on the people who are actually watching, the people you are influencing, but also on yourself. So we're going to get into talking a little bit about that. Yeah, because we all see a lot. We see people, what they do here on whether this platform, TikTok, Instagram, whatever social media website that you are using. We see people use social media and not for the best. First of all, to be an influencer, I think you definitely have to have something to say. And some, unfortunately, don't have a lot to say when it comes to being on social media. Some people are just on here to make trouble, to talk about other people, to try to disrupt other people's peace, because they are a miserable individual. So they're going to try to make other people feel miserable. Hey, James Money, how are you doing? Welcome. Happy Friday. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you're doing good. And a happy weekend to everybody. You made it. You made it to Friday, everybody. Yeah, there's a lot of people who are on social media that do not need to be on social media. Let's say that, because when you're an influencer, you're impacting a lot of people. Let's start off with talking about children. Okay, you're impacting children, you impact yourself, you impact your relatives, you impact so many people that you may never meet, and you also impact the people who are in your own household. That's awesome, James. I'm glad you're doing good, and you're welcome. Hey, Lisa, how are you doing? Welcome. Happy Friday. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you're having a great day and week as well. Yeah, so let's talk about this for a little bit. There's a lot of people here who are on the social media and they start trouble. They come on their platform and they say all kinds of negative, derogatory, try to break down other people. They make problems. They try to get other people at odds with each other. They try to make other people aggravated, and they disrupt. But if you think about it, some people who are influencers, they really don't have a message. All their message is using other people's content and trying to get people at each other's necks. Hey, Tamika, how are you doing? Welcome. Good to see you. Happy Friday. Appreciate you being here. Yeah, a lot of people, they don't know how to use social media. Let's just start off by saying, on this platform of YouTube, um, YouTube is really supposed to be the content you make, you edit, and what you put out there to your audience. And there's a lot of people who don't make their own content. They take the content of others and they just turn it around, change one or two words, and then they say it's their content. Or they just are on here to start stuff, to start mess with other people, to get people against one another, and that is something else. Got a mod in the house. Hey, Miss Donna, how are you doing? Welcome. Happy Friday to you. Got a mod in the house. Thank you for being here. I hope you're having an awesome Friday. And y'all hit the like, please. Hit the like. Um, yeah, so let's talk about some of the influences of social media. We see all the time here on social media the things that happen. So let me first talk about, let me put up the first banner. let's first talk about some of the benefits of social media. So when you have your platform of social media, you can on your platform give information, knowledge, bring awareness, and I think that that's a really amazing benefit. You can teach people. Um, you can you get to meet. I've met some really nice people. I really have. Um, so I've met some people who are my mods, some people that I know in real life that I have met in real time. There's a lot of things that social media can have its benefits, and that's one of them. I've met some really nice people. I've also learned a lot of things. You know, when you're on social media, it causes you to have to speak up. You know, you have to be a strong individual. You have to be somebody who has a strong mind and know what you want, because if you don't know what you want, you're going to have other people to influence you to do what they want you to do, or at the speed that they want you to do. So you got to have your own mind, and I think that's one thing that social media has done for me. It's caused me to be even more sure and aware of what I want to do on my platform. So I do love that about social media, that you're able to reach people from all around the world with whatever you have to talk about. And I think that it's something that is a responsibility that a lot of people don't take seriously. You don't know when somebody clicks on your video or your live, you don't know who you are talking to. You don't know who is looking at you. And that's the reason why when you have your platform, you should use your platform to do something, have some sort of awareness that you're bringing to others. Okay. Let's see what's going on in the comment section. Let's see what I missed. Okay, you guys are talking with one another. Awesome. Yeah, and I feel like that's one of the most amazing benefits of social media is that you get to meet people. You get to be able to share your message with people from all around the world in all different time zones, from all different cultures, all different backgrounds. So I think that that's one of the biggest benefits is your reach will be much wider if you were trying on your own to get people to come to you. And that's why I really appreciate being here on YouTube as an influencer. You're able to reach people with your message just by uploading videos or hitting that like button. And also with that benefit, it's also can be a hazard. So let me put that up too. There is also hazards of being on social media, many, many hazards. And one of them is that you never know who people really are. People can put on a front, a facade, a whole different, they can make themselves into a whole different personality. They can have a whole different, that's not even who they are. They can mislead people, lie to them, scam people. It's a lot of scams on social media. And there's also people who try to get into relationships, romantic relationships on social media. So it's things that you have to be aware of. And if you don't pay attention, you could be catfished. You could be catfished. Okay. So shout out to everybody who is here on social media. If you're an influencer, there's going to be people who are going to try to do the underhanded stuff. So be cognizant of that. And yeah, have your both eyes open to all of it. Let's see. It's a lot of fake people on YouTube, too much suffer sub. I'm so glad I finally got out of that circle. It took years to get out. That was destroying my channel. My channel is heading in a better. Yes, it sure is, Miss Donna, and I'm so happy for you. Yes, a happier direction. Hey, Leticia, how are you doing? Good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Happy Friday. I hope you're doing well. Yes, and everybody, if you could hit the like, please, I really appreciate it. Yes, a lot of scams, a lot of scams. And I usually I don't see a lot of scams here on this platform, but on TikTok, Instagram, Discord, there is a lot of scams. So you got to be aware of those things. You know, the ones people who say, send in some money to this to my WhatsApp. You know, People will pretend, and if you don't pay attention, you'll get taken advantage of. So you got to be aware of that. And I have to talk about this. This is a big hazard on social media. There are a lot of people on this platform that go after our young people. I call them pedophiles. I don't know what you call them, predators, whatever is the word. Um, yeah, there's a lot of them on here. And that's the reason why we really have to pay attention to, if you have children in your home or the gullible and vulnerable, the older population who gets scammed by them thinking that something is happening to somebody in their family and they got to send some money, or it's the IRS, or it's this person or that person, when it's really not. It's just somebody in a completely different country trying to get over on those who don't understand, those who, with all of these fake scams and fake accounts. And sometimes it's not even the same sex that they claim to be. If they say it's a male, it's a female. If it's a female, it's really a male. So you got to keep your eyes open, and you got to pay attention for your family, for your relatives, especially the elderly population, those who have special needs or mental health issues, and also yourself. There's a lot of people who prey on those who are seeking a relationship, especially those who are desperately looking for somebody, and they may with good intentions be looking for somebody, but there's a lot of people that they know, that those who are trying to get in a relationship and trying to get married, there's a lot of scams out there, and they're not who they say they are. They're just trying to get something from you and take advantage of you, and then they just go to the next person and the next person and the next person. Yeah, I call them some sick freaks. Yeah, and there's many. A lot of sleazeball men tubers hooking up with female tubers. Then the man puts out, oh, why can't I say the word? You know that word is nude. I have a problem. I've always had the problem with that word. You know what I mean? The nude pictures of these ladies on social media, and it is a crime, and it happens, and also vice versa. There's some women out there that are twisted too, that will do the same thing. That I've on Instagram, I've seen some women sharing some D pics. So be careful of what you send to people's email when you slide in their DMs. You don't know if they're going to go and you don't know if they're going to go and click and post your D pics. So pay attention. Yes. Yes, ladies, watch out. I've heard several stories like that. Yeah, we have to be aware. We got to keep our eyes open. Yes, you seen that yourself, realist? Awesome. Hey, Miss Tracy, how are you doing? Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Happy Friday to you in the lab, listening in. Much love. Thank you so much. Yes, I get a lot of this on social media. Yes, exactly, Miss Tracy. And we think that, as we get older, that maybe that's something for the young people, but no, the population that I see on here on social media acting a hot mess is people who are in their late 30s, even up to people who are in their 60s and 70s, and they're on this platform and other social media platforms acting a fool, not acting mature, not being a good influencer on the younger people, not teaching the young people how they should act and treat one another, because they honestly are not mature themselves. So a lot of people who are influencers are not influencing in a good way. There is negative influencers and there is positive influencers. So we do have to pay attention to what we click on, and who are we allowing, ourselves to get entertained by, because some of these people are not who they claim that they are. Okay? They're not who they claim they are. So pay attention. Yes, there are a lot of lonely tubers. You can tell when they go live all the time without any topic. just let's chat. Some tubers prey on tubers like that. Yeah, they're always live, but it's never a topic. It's and Another thing that we do have to be dangerous. We have to be dangerous. We have to be careful of the danger is those who are vloggers or you go live somewhere. Please be careful. Those who do vlogs or they go out or they're somewhere, be careful not to show, your personal location, like um, vlogging in front of your home, vlogging, you're close to your home, or going live when you're at a certain place, or saying, I'm out of town, so people will know you're not at your home. All of these things are things that, maybe we should all be aware of it, but we always need some reminders of what not to do here. Don't post when you're live somewhere. Post after you already get home and you're safe. Then go ahead and post that information and make sure you edit it so that you're not oversharing, because I think that can be a big issue and problem, and that's a big hazard on social media. They're so involved with getting the clicks and the views that they don't think about those hidden dangers, like I'm showing my location now. Anybody can know where I am. All very dangerous. Let's go to point number 3. So let's talk about the social media effects on the person who is the content creator. Creating content can be very, very wonderful. Like for me, I can say for myself, I find it to be very fulfilling, to get information and to share the things that I've learned about certain topics, but it's dependent on what your content is all about. So that can be a good effect on you as an influencer, but there's also some bad effects when you're trying so hard to get those clicks and those views that you're not getting rest, you're not getting sleep. It's like you live here on social media, so we got to be careful of that too, to be balanced when it comes to being an influencer. Do what you do. Get out of that mold of trying to be like everybody else and just be yourself. I always say that when you continue to be who you are, the right people will always be drawn to you, and it will happen in a matter of time. Don't follow the crowd. Just be your own self. And I think that that's one of the things that I learned after all my time here on social media. Don't follow what everybody else is doing. Don't try to duplicate other people. Put your own personality on it, and people will either like you or not like you. That's something that we can't change. We can't get ourselves wrapped up on who likes me, who doesn't like me, who's showing up at my stuff, who's supporting me. All of these things, it's just about you putting out good quality content, and then eventually the right people will come. Don't worry about the people who don't and the people who don't like you, and stop focusing on your clicks and your views, and just get into your routine of being consistent. I think that's one of the things that I was always following what everybody else was doing. Oh, I only do once a week. Well, then that's you. Don't change to be like another person. You got to get into your own mode, your own way of being, how you want your channel to be, and then keep doing that, and do it in a consistent basis, and then eventually all the right people will start coming to you. So yeah. And I will say, being a content creator, you have to be very careful of the amount of stress that you let yourself be under while you're making content and doing what you do. Don't forget to take your breaks, to get your rest, and then come back. Take a few days off. Don't live on here. Let's see who's in the comment section. Yes, Marlene Motivates preach the vloggers. They have to be extremely careful, especially women, showing your home location, your personal life. So many stalkers out here. I heard of many. Yeah, and they did have a tuber. It was a female tuber, and the person that she was in a relationship with um, was not wrapped tight at all. Like he definitely had some mental health issues, and he winded up unaliving her because of just he didn't like all of the whatever the clout that she was getting, and he started to get jealous of how much likes she was getting and things. I've never heard anything so crazy. You're jealous of your girlfriend's that she has more subscribers, more likes and clicks than you do. When you should be happy if you're together in a relationship, but not everybody is too right. Not everybody is right in their head. But yeah, balance is so true. Yeah, that's right, Donna. And that's what why I've always been drawn to you and a few that I've been rocking with for a long period of time. Never change who you are. If this is what you're going to do, focus on that and then do that for in a better way, in a quality way. But don't try to follow the crowd. I feel like I'm finally into the mode. It's taken me a while to find out actually what I wanted to do on this channel, but now I'm really happy that I have found my place here, my footing. Yeah. And there is a lot of influences on the content creator. You have to be very careful about what you allow other people to get in your head, even though we don't know the majority of people that come to our videos and lives. You may not know them in person, but it is an influence on you, and if you're not careful, you'll get yourself into this, like making videos and making lives, talking about, oh, they did this to me and I don't like them, and who do they think they are? I don't know. Don't get involved in that, y'all. Don't make yourself look silly and foolish like other people. Now, I got to get into this one and start talking about it. When we talk about social media, we all have relatives, people who are related to us by blood. And when we make content and we're doing lives and we're doing all of these things, you are taking your precious time away from your loved ones. And it does have an impact on your relatives. While you may be a content creator, you still have to be balanced. You still have to spend time with your loved ones. You still have to have a life. And some are not balanced on this app or other social media apps. Um, that is their entire life. They live by how many likes, how many views, like their self esteem is wrapped up in that. And we definitely have to be careful that we're not letting social media be the determining factor on what we think about ourselves. I only have as much self esteem as I have likes, or I have of subs, or I have of whatever it is. So it's not all about the clicks and the views. Even though we all want success here on social media, let's not sugarcoat it. Everybody wants their channels to be successful, but not at the impact of never spending time with your children, and all of that. So be careful of the impact on your relatives. And something that I see a lot of times is being an influencer. You have to respect the boundaries of people who you're related to. There's some people who want to be on social media and some who don't. So I think it's very important to ask, respect other people. Just because you want to be an influencer, it does not mean that they want to be an influencer. Okay. So we got to be aware of that as well. Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, stop rushing to get monetized. I see so many tubers going live every day to get monetized. Once they burn out. Never built an audience that are into your content. Right. It can't be all about um, just just doing. People have to actually go to watch the content. So yeah, you're right, Miss Sana. We got to focus on the content. uh, I agree. The weird thing is folks actually feel a way when you detach yourself or always stay in your own lane. Well, you know what I will say about that? People who have a problem when you're doing you, it's a personal problem. It's That's a them problem. That's a you problem. It's not a me problem, you know. So we definitely have to get involved in our own self, right? And we have to find out what we personally want. Okay, I think that's so important. Realest one here. Oh my God, so true. It's insane. They will do videos about you. Just mad you are not with the toxicity. You just staying in your own lane. These toxic channels hurt your channel. Yes. And that's why you have to really pay attention, you know, to what you're about, what you're interested in, and then leave off the rest of it, just leave all of that behind and leave it alone, and know what you're about, know what you want to do, and don't live off of the opinions of other people. That's another thing that I feel that I've learned being a content creator. I can't let other people's opinions of me get me down. You're not going to be liked by everybody. Actually, the majority of people will not like you. The majority of people will hate you, but you're not trying to get people as content creators. Your real focus should be trying to get people who are non-content creators, who are just coming to your channel for your message. Okay, I feel that's what we have to focus in on. That. Okay, now we got to talk about social media effects on the impact on the children. So now, everybody, um, where everybody's grown here, everybody I know is at least 18 years old to be on this app of YouTube, and there is an impact on children. It definitely is. There are things that children should not be forced to do. I know that there's a lot of people who have the family channels, and or they film their children, and the children really are not interested in doing that. It's just something that the parents do. So there is a thing, as in the beginning, maybe initially it's something that you want to do, but when your children get to be a certain age, you have to ask certain questions like, do you want to do this anymore? Do you like it? And respect the boundaries of children. I think that's one issue a lot of times with social media. You have to understand that not everybody likes it, wants to be a part of it, and you got to respect that space and those ideas as well. So, and also you got to think about the impact on children. Children really don't understand everything that happens on social media. They don't understand why you're taking so much time away from them, and why this has to be your job, and why you can't just be their mom, or why you can't just be their dad, auntie, uncle, grandma, guardian, whatever you are to this person. Okay, and it really affects a child mentally. When you're a social media influencer, you really do have to keep thinking, am I being balanced? Am I giving my children, am I giving my relatives the time that they need to feel seen and heard and loved? Because if you don't, it will impact them negatively, and they'll think that whatever you're doing on social media is more important than them. And we definitely don't want our the children to feel that way. And also, social media can have a very negative impact on children. You have to teach them, like, this is something that we do for fun, or a hobby, but whether people like your videos, don't like it, the comments that other people say, they don't know you, they don't know us. So it's not a reflection of you're not a good or a bad person because of another person's comment. So you do have to remind children of those things. And as an adult, there has to be someone that has to speak up and say those things, right? I think that's so important. So also, social media, we have to talk about the impact on romantic relationships. So I know, Miss Donna, and I know a lot of you all see a lot of things here on this app. People who are on relationships. You see married couples, you see people who are dating or trying to date. People here on this app who are desperate, trying to get people to to send them money. Um, there's a lot of things that happen on this app and other social media apps. People do things out of desperation, out of being just angry and negative, not being in a good space, not being mentally in a good mental health space. So they have a lot of things going on. So you have to really be careful on this app. And be careful who it is that you are dating. Because even if a person comes on here and says that they're a certain way, you really don't know somebody until you're actually around them. You see the things that they do when that camera is off. What type of person are they really? Do they even work? Do they have a job? Do they have a home? All of these things, how is their uh, personal health, like do they take care of themselves, do they have the personality that they want, are they goal driven? It's certain things that you can't find out on an app. There's certain things that people on this app or other social media only tell you what they want you to know, but you never know about their quirks and their weird habits and other things that they do when that camera is off. So you got to be really pay attention to who you date on this app or other social media influences, especially those who are trying to slide in your DMs or trying to call you on the phone, trying to be in a relationship with you, and you never meet them. And you have to be careful about people wanting you to send them money, those who are trying to get visas, or they're trying to get you to marry them so that they can leave their country, from wherever it is that they live. So got to think about those things, those who are trying to love bomb you into being in a relationship with them. So we can get all of these things on social media, and we have to really think about it, because not everybody who shows you that they're one way really is that way. Because people can put up a smoke screen. They can be fake. They can lie. They can be manipulative. They can take your money if you let them. We can't let people get so close to us. Um, I think the best thing, my personal thing is, I think social media is not the place for dating and getting to know people. That's my personal opinion. I'm not telling anybody else what to do. I personally believe in, getting to know somebody that you see all the time, that, that you can see and actually see on a regular basis, to see how really they act in real life. But that's my personal opinion. I can't tell anybody what to do and what to say. I'm just stating my opinion. Let's see. Um, you just They will do videos about you, just mad you are not with the toxicity. You just stay in your own lane. These toxic channels hurt your channel. It's so true. Oh, well, that's what I'm saying. I'm not telling anybody what to do, but it's just my personal, it's just Marlene. I'm just stating mine. I am not dating a YouTuber. No, no, no. Yes, real talk, Tracy. It's so true. Yeah, let me get into. I think that was all. That's all that I had here. So I'm gonna. This is the point of the show where I'm gonna put the link here in the chat, and you all are free to. You all are free to come up and to discuss. I understand, Marlene. You have to be careful. Yep, I'm like, no, no, no. Not Marlene. I'm not telling you all. If that's what you want to do, as Miss Donna always says, to date smart. Make sure you're dating smart, and you're not thinking just with trying to rush to be in a relationship or to be married, but you're really thinking smart. Is this really a good person, or just what somebody is pretending that they are? So all those things that we definitely have to pay attention to all of those things. So I'm going to do a recap of everything that we talked about. So, today we talked about, social media, the benefits, the influencers, and the effects on ourselves, our relatives, and in our relationships. Uh, let's see if I'm correct. YouTube was designed to be a dating site. Oh, really, Miss Donna? I didn't know that. That would be good to do some research on. I'm not aware of that. So we're talking about, today we talked about social media and how it can impact ourselves. There are benefits when it comes to social media. You get to learn things, you get to meet certain people, and you can actually find some really good friendships. I really have. I've met some really nice YouTubers, and we're friends right now in real life. We talk all the time on the phone. So, yeah, you can meet, and also you can meet, like Miss Donna says, you maybe meet somebody and fall in love, and it can be wonderful for you. I'm not saying that it can't, but we definitely have to be aware that there is not people who are using us, because especially those who are vulnerable and looking for a romantic relationship or looking for a good friend, people will work on your vulnerability, and try to ask you for money. They want to move in with you because they have nowhere to live. And then you don't know that you're with somebody who has a long criminal record. So, all of these things, before you get yourself so involved, make sure you guys are doing your research, you're doing your background checks. You find out, what is their work history. There's a lot of things that we can do when we are, if you're going to go down that route and do the online dating route. Make sure you're doing your research so that what somebody is saying to you is actually it's backed up. Like, okay, you say that, but then show me some proof. Show me some proof. I need you. I need to see some of your work, your paychecks. Yeah, I need to see, because people will say that they're this and they're not even employed until after you get your heart involved with them, and they're probably, like Miss Donna was saying, they could be homeless. They could be probably living in their mom or some family member's basement, laying on their couch, and they just want an easy prey that they can live somewhere rent free. So we got to pay attention to all of those things. So, yes, we have to be aware. We got to be aware and pay attention of these people, or they will take advantage of you if you let them. And this is another big one. Not now, you all know, Marlene, I'm not talking about nobody or nothing, but it's a lot of YouTubers who are not all the way together. Come on, let's say it with me. They don't have it together. Okay? They're not wrapped tight. Okay? The elevator does not go to the top shelf. Okay? It does not go to the top floor. It doesn't. It's like, I'm sorry. So you got to be aware of all of that when it comes to, your channel, listening to people who, uh-uh, uh-uh. It's not all there, everybody. So, and it's not making fun of people. It's just the reality. Some people have been through a lot of things in their life. They've gone through things, and they have some mental health issues. And some people are just miserable. So they want to also make you miserable. Don't let other people influence you and take you down that road to make you also feel miserable, because they haven't done what they need to do and work on themselves. So it's all those things involved too that I definitely have seen since I've been on this app for a while, because I believe that I've been on this app since 2008. And in that time, what, like 16 years or so that I've been on this app, I've seen a lot of things. And I've seen people who have done some very desperate things, some very thirsty, needy things, and just shown shown that they're just, it's not good. And I've seen people lose their families. Like, they go and they're married or they're in a committed relationship and they're on this app or other apps acting thirsty, sliding in people's DMs, and they have children. They've been married for a long time, or they've been in a supposedly committed relationship, and they're over on this app, up in everybody's live stream and on everybody's videos trying to holler. Hmm. I take out my glasses. I see you. I see you, and I am not fooled. Okay, and I am not fooled. No, ma'am, and no,
No,
sir.
ma'am. We not gonna play the fool now. Marlene said, "If it don't fit, you must have quit."
Hey,
Oh my
Leticia, how are you doing?
sweetie, how are you? Thank you for letting
Good,
me.
good.
Oh my goodness. Um, so I know you had planned this, and I'm so glad you did because we touched on it. I want to say it's been a couple of weeks ago, maybe a week or two. But this was a much needed topic because we are in this age. It's here, it's not going anywhere. You know, we're in this technological age era, and it's happened so fast just within my own lifespan, my own generation, that I'm like, it's just, it can kind of be mind boggling. Like, dang, are we really going to see these robots walking around soon? Like these robocops, you know? But just to touch on your subject, because I think that we kind of touched on at that time, and that's what kind of got us to this place to where we're having this topic, um, where social media is another communication tool, and it's not going to go anywhere. It's only going to either get more advanced, or people are just not going to use it. You know, you're going to have those who just aren't going to use it at all. But my experience has been with the relatives, and I think that's my main concern, is replacing conversations with social media. And that's kind of what I had touched on during that last talk about this, was how I had a brother who had called me, and he's like, you know, um, what you've been doing, like, because I don't post everything like I used to. I, at one time before COVID, I used to post almost every, like you were saying, the trips and all that. So I scaled back on that, and immensely, to where people didn't know my business. And so it was like, wait a minute, I don't know what's going on in her life. So it was like, I ain't heard from you in months, and yada yada. And I'm like, okay, you have my phone number, you called me.
Yeah, we can talk in real life, like normal people do.
Right, right, Marlene. It just tripped me out. And he said, yeah, I don't see you on Facebook anymore. And so I was like, okay, so we're siblings, like we're stepbrother and sister. But we're siblings,
Yeah.
you know. It is what it is. That's how I call it. Um, but I'm like, you have my number. You could have called me if you were concerned with me. And I don't use Facebook like that, like as a way to communicate with people I care for. Like, if I'm going to reach out to you, it's going to either be by phone if I really want to know what's going on with you, or it's going to be, if I can't reach you by phone, by text. And so, you know, that was just interesting to me, the take he had on social media, that I wasn't around because I wasn't posting stuff. And so I was like, no, I'm here, we're chilling, you know. I just don't post everything on
Yeah.
social media like I used to. And so I say, yeah, but it's, if you want a true like relationship with someone, you might want to pick up the phone and call, or, you know, even texting is, to me, is more personable nowadays than social media, relying on someone to post stuff just so you know how they're doing in life, if they're still alive even. Like, you got people announcing deaths on social media, and that's how some people find, oh, Uncle Charles died. Oh, damn. Yes, Aunt Sue posted it on Facebook. And even had people say, I invited you to this party, yada yada. I'm like, oh, I'm not on there like that, so I missed the invite. Like, you know. So I think we need to, um well, for me, I can't tell what other people to do, but maybe those who you don't see on there as common, like if that's your thing to communicate through social media, is those who you really care for, you want to know. I'm not saying you don't care for them, because a lot of times it's out of sight, out of mind. You know, you don't see someone for a long time. It's not that you don't care for them, it's just you don't see them like that. You know, a lot of families are spread out, so it is a great way to see what all's going on with other people, and it is a great tool for that. But if it's someone like that you want to know what's going on, don't come out the gate like, where you been, like, you, if you know
Yeah.
they don't post stuff like that, and that's your means of communication, then you have to now find out their means of communication. And that goes back to that communication. um, you've done several actually lives on communicating and best practices, but learning, almost like a love language type thing, learning other people and how they, because you might not see granny might not have no page, man,
Mm-hmm.
and somebody might
And
have made
Granny
one
might not
for her.
understand how to post either.
Right. So call your granny and check on her. You know what I'm saying? Don't wait for a post. Oh, I ain't seen you post, Granny. Come on now.
Yeah.
Let's and I think we got to teach that to the generations that have predominantly grown up on social media, because that's just the way they've learned to communicate. That there are going to be people who aren't on there, and teaching different communication strategies to these younger folk to let them know, hey, you're going to have to call uh grandma Betty to check on her, because she this isn't her means of communication. Or, you know, you're gonna have to text Uncle Bill. He don't like phone calls, but maybe you text him to check in on him, see how he's doing, things of that nature. But it was amazing that my younger brother felt like I was just MIA because I wasn't on Facebook. It just like, it shocked me, you know, in a sense. I was like, yeah, I'm here. Hey, we're cool. Everything's good. You know, it's not that I don't care for you. It's not no ill will. It's just I don't post like that on those media outlets. So I'm glad again you brought this up, and I just wanted to share my story with how social media has impacted my own personal relationships. And somebody might not like your stuff. That doesn't mean they don't like you. If people aren't on there like that, don't hold them to a standard to where they must be on any platform, because
Right.
it's not a requirement necessarily. You know, it's
Right.
just to be nosy a lot of times.
I just wanted to interject with that too, Leticia. I was talking to one of my best girlfriends, and she was saying that there was a big problem that happened with her and another one of her friends, because the guy that she was with, the guy that they were with, he didn't want to post on social media that he was in a relationship, and the
Mhm.
girl wanted to break up with him because he wouldn't put on his whatever that I'm in a
It's-
relationship, but he wants to keep it private and she wants to announce to everybody. And I'm like, are we really in that space now where we have
mhm.
to announce to everybody? I feel like you should know. I don't
Right.
know, but to each his or her own. But I don't know. I feel like I didn't, because I didn't grow up until I was. I don't think the social media came to impact me until I was around maybe 17 years old. So I was already almost an adult before social media started. But the ones that are like they're born into it, this is
Mhm.
all they know. Yeah.
Right. And
Yeah,
that's
she wanted to break up because he
that.
wouldn't post we're in a relationship.
But that's a red flag, and he actually got out of that. that's actually a universal red flag for him. Like, thank goodness he found that out early on, it sounds like, so he could bail, because that was a blessing in disguise. Like, you need to be with what they say, equally yoked. That ain't your equal, and I'm not a Bible thumper, I know it, but uh it just is what it is. It makes sense if that person's that way, and that's a part of now dating. That's going to be questions you might ask your significant, or your person you're meeting for the first time to date. Hey, do you have a deal with social media? Is it your life? Is that how you predominantly communicate? Things of that nature, because we are in a different time. That's going to be an important factor in. It could be for, like, some people, like you said, they're going on there meeting people, other people, cheating or whatever. And some people might not want to be with someone with that's on social media, because they feel like they'll be consumed. Some people don't have boundaries, so they don't want to compete with social media. So those are going to be new questions, I think, added to that
Yeah.
dating list. Like, okay, is this a big deal for you? Do you need me to post that we're in a relate? Is that going to be something, down the line, that's going to be a deal for you? Because then you're wasting your time otherwise. And then, just knowing how to, and let's please teach our children how to pick up a phone and call people. Please,
Yes.
let's teach to how to use a real phone, the
I,
phone that
I
they have
had
in
to
their hand.
I had to also teach some of my teenage nieces and nephews that there's a pen and paper, you actually, back in the day, we used to write each other letters and
Right.
send cards, and they're like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they can't believe it. That was like, why? I was like, because that's what you did.
Right.
You wrote letters,
We
or
did.
you showed up in person.
We sure did. And you
Yeah.
ask somebody out with a letter too sometimes. Do you
Yeah.
like me? Yes or no? Check one. That was our social
Yes. Uh-huh. That was our social
media.
media. Hmm.
Please, let's teach whoever's listening out there in the chat, anyone on the playback. Marlene is dropping gems. Please, let's teach the ones coming behind us what we need to do collectively to keep communication open on all types of methods, whether it's learning how to write a letter, getting a pen
Hmm.
pal from overseas. You can have them find an exchange student to write letters back and forth to. There's so many other things, even learning how to write on an email. Like, some people are so can text and LOL, they're so abbreviated in life. They don't know how to write words out anymore. Like,
They don't know how to
it's
spell. And a
exactly.
dying art right now is cursive. One of my friends who's an educator
Sorry,
told
mom.
me they've removed cursive from the learning modules now, so the children now don't have to learn how to write in cursive.
I think I'm back. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. My alarm went off and then I think it blipped.
Oh, that's okay. I was just saying that, my friend who's an educator was saying that now the kids are not required to write in cursive anymore. So
Mm-hmm.
there's that too.
Yeah, and you can teach your own child how to write cursive. There's actually books out there that teach cursive, so there's no reason to blame the education system for it. If you want your child to learn cursive, there are plenty of books on Amazon that they can trace and learn how to write in cursive, and it doesn't take that long. They may learn it within a few weeks and you're good. So, but yeah, we just need to make sure we're teaching the next generation, because what we're complaining about right now, just imagine they didn't have those other communication tools that we had. I remember having a beeper and having to type make we made words out of numbers. Remember that? Like,
Yes.
it was
Yes.
crazy. So,
And, and the typewriter. I know that I probably
yeah,
sound archaic, but I remember
I remember
getting
that.
typing class. So
Exactly. So we just need to make sure it, and that's just for me an ask, is that anyone in the chat or on the replay, that if you have younger people in your life, to share with them this video, and also to instill in them other arts of communication, other forms of communication. That way we don't lose that art, and that they know how to call grandma to check in on her, make sure she took her medicine or whatever, and things of that nature. Even something that little, just to call an elder,
Yeah.
that makes their day. You just don't realize, like, a lot of them call customer service just so they can have a conversation with people.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I just wanted to share my little experience with my brother who thought I went MIA because I wasn't on Facebook, y'all. But love you, Marlene.
Yes.
Thank you so much again for
You
this.
love you.
All right,
Bye.
I'll be back in the chat. Peace.
And I also thank you so much, Leticia. I really appreciate you coming up. So I believe the next segment I'm going to get into, we're going to talk about next Friday into talking about dating. I think that that would be a good topic to talk about. So I'm writing that down in the notes. So those of you who are here right now, next week Friday, we're going to be talking about dating. I don't know if anybody else wants to come up. I'll be here for another minute. Anybody who wants to hit that link. Otherwise, I'm about to get out of here, and I hope you guys have a great and safe weekend. And everybody, use social media for the right ways. Those who are influencers and those who are just supporters, be balanced. Take care of yourself, your family. Don't let other people tell you what to put on your channel and what you should do. Get into doing what you need to do, and don't go crazy. Don't go crazy with social media, and don't try to let other people with their dating, who are trying to get to know you and date you. Not everybody is a person you should date. Not everybody, not everybody, not everybody. So, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate each and every one of you motivators. And be aware, this is just to spread awareness. So you guys don't get taken advantage of. Don't get taken advantage of, everybody. Because you're deserving of better. This is about self improvement, mindset shifting, awareness, and motivation and inspiration. So thank you all so much. And be motivated to be the best you every single day. I'll see you guys on Monday. Bye, guys.
Be encouraged, be inspired, be yourself, you will survive. Just know it, just breathe it, and be it, and live your best life.
Forgive me, I love me. I've been blessed that I have made it through. I'm stronger and worthy. I am enough now. What about you? I forgive me, I love me. I've been blessed that I have made it through. I'm stronger and worthy. I am enough now. What about you? Ooh, hey, yeah. Yeah.